Okay guys, so welcome to Darryl 79. Here it is, finished complete. I know our episode kind of ended on the last one. That's because I kind of ran out of footage. So here it is, the finished product. So you would have just seen the tray go on. That was the end of the episode. This is it in its entirety in the finished result. Let's start from the front and work our way back in what we've done on Darryl's vehicle. First things first, obviously, JMACX 3900 kilo coil converted rear end in this one as well. So that means 4-inch lift. Darryl has gone for the King shock on his. We've done 35-inch tires included as well. So we got remote resis, front and rear, and then obviously coil rear end. No stretch in this, so it's very similar to my 79, and that GVM is bringing him up to 39, as I said, and maintaining 3.5 ton tow, so fantastic for a touring vehicle like this. Little tip for you on that, if you didn't know, as part of the kit from JMACX, you do get a Torque at 3.5-inch DPF back exhaust system, because obviously it needs to route around all of the coil towers and everything else that we put in the rear. That's been made for the JMACX system, so it does come with the kit. Also underneath the vehicle, we do have some bash plates as well. So one for the front, for our radiator, and then we do have our transfer case, getting a new plate up against that as well. All right, so bar work, ARB bar, big tube bar, steps and rails as well in the side. We've got a 12,000 pound carbon winch in the front for him as well, then coupled with some Type X Pros from Steady also. And as you can see, we are running our UHF antenna on the front. This is actually the Axis antenna as well. Axis is a Australian company, and I run their whips on my 79 as well. So a little bit different, something a little bit different. On the front also, we do have a classic, pretty sure they call it a 40th anniversary grill for the 70 series. Darryl actually sorted that himself. But I think it's cool. It's a nice little touch for the front of the 70 series. Other things you can see directly from the front of the vehicle, Safari RMAX. We have done our full Safari RMAX suite on this vehicle. So that is RMAX clutch, ECU, and the snorkel. So Darryl now has a 70 series that no longer has to labor up and down those hills, especially when you're running 35s. You definitely want a bit more power. Moving up top, as you can see, we've got the Rhino rack up the top there, and I am running a Steady ST3K 51.5-inch slimline on the front of that, and then we've got a couple of their work lights down the side, just little light bars, perfect for these racks because they are so slim. You don't have to worry about them impacting the roof or anything like that, and they give great light out the side of the vehicle. All right guys, brief rundown, just quickly. So we've got our oil air separator up the top, so that and the pre-line is all now coupled with our Safari system. So because the ECU's here, it obviously takes up a fair bit of room, but with those guys we've developed a kit that can still get our oil air separator in and our pre-line, which is all tucked away. Those things are still accessible for servicing. Obviously it takes a little bit of getting to for your pre-filter, but everything is still in there, functions fantastically. Then on the front we've got our dual battery system, so our red arcs hiding in behind the grill here, and then we've done our 95 amp hour deep cycle calcium up the top there, and everything fusing wise is all in this vicinity, making it very easy for Darryl. Really quickly before I forget, bonnet struts as well, and we have done a ERPS system on this vehicle, ERPS electronic rust preventative system. Making our way down the side of the vehicle, can't go past the clear views. Love these things, I've got them on mine. Darryl's got the electric version, so our top glass is electronically controlled from the cab, up, down, left, right. And then, whooshka, towing something or anything like that, you obviously need to see down the side of the vehicle. Can't beat it for how far it comes out as well. Okay, so at the rear, Darryl's gone with our full Boss Aluminium get up on the vehicle, full M-spec range. So M4 tray, M4 canopy, and I'll give you guys a bit of a look in that in a minute. But let's have a look at what's happening on the outside. So full tray with a headboard and jack off canopy. So the canopy is removable. That way, if Darryl needs to, he can just run the sides. The trays do come with the sides, guys. You can do that when you get our full tray packages. So as you can see, all of our hardware is literally ready to go for that side to just go straight on, and then you can use it as a ute. But for this instance, Darryl's gone the Tourer because he is doing a Cape trip very soon. And as you notice, Boss RT1 tent on the top. Love this tent. I did the desert this year with Saf, my boy, and me and him were in that the whole time. Absolutely fantastic for on-the-go touring, guys. Like 1 minute to set it up, 1 minute to pack it down. I was the envy of the campground, so I can tell you that much. It just works, does everything you need it to do. But that's what we've got on Darryl's car. He does have solar on top of that as well. It is an option. You can do full solar option on the top of the rooftops as well. You might notice on the tray, we do have the clean skin side. On mine, I've actually got a tie-down rail that runs along the bottom here. So the difference between that is Darryl's getting a full-sized box, whereas with my 79, it's a little bit shorter to obviously allow that tie-down rail to go through that section in there on the trays. So underneath the M4 trays, you do get a water tank as well, and full pull-out trundle drawer at the rear, making a good option for storage on the back. And it does have a little tabletop as well, so it's great for prepping food, or you just pull up on the side of the road, you want to put a drink down or something like that. Fantastic tabletop. Bloody phone. Well, here we are. This is said canopy and said box. Said box. Well, here we are. I just thought I'd show you quickly inside and a little bit about the M4 range and the modular system that's obviously available with it. Before we go there, I did do a onboard air system for Darryl with in-cab controls for his airbags. So in our rear box here, we've got a ARB twin compressor and an air tank with our airbag man up-down solenoid system to then obviously make that in-cab control setup work. Anyhow, moving inside of the canopy. So this is pretty much the basic internal structure, guys, that you will get. The best thing about this modular system, as you can see, it's all our nutserts. So that's all done at the factory there at Boss when they are manufactured. The good thing about this is bolt in, bolt out accessories. So our range is growing by the day on what you can get from those guys. They are developing new things all of the time. So as you can see, we've got our fridge slide bracketry setup system here. We've got our fridge slide system here. On the other side, we do have a drawer and a mini shelf up top on the other side. And then the great thing about this is if you get sick of your fridge being here and you want it on the other side, literally unbolt the bracketry system, take it over there. Oh my God. As I was saying, fridge slide system here, but if you got sick of it, you can move it. You can put it here, or you can put it over there, or you can bring your shelf up here, or whatever. The options are endless. So if you want to build it your way, you can do that, which is fantastic with these setups. Excellent thing that I'm going to mention as well is the pillars are now movable. We can do that. That can actually happen. So if you did want to have this system in here, so obviously your fridge slide stayed there, and then you wanted to have another one in the center, because Boss does do a pull-out pantry system that you can do. So if you added another pillar in the center there, you'd be able to do something like that. So that's the good thing about the modular system inside the canopy. It kind of gives you the freedom to turn this into whatever you want it to be over time, because everyone knows you'll have an idea and you're like, I should have done that first, or I wish I didn't have to get this cut out to change it. Bolt in, bolt out setup, it's going to make that so much easier, and you don't have to have it all at the start. You can literally start with a blank canvas and then slowly build your way up to something like this, or something like mine, which has everything's full. It's got crap everywhere. So you can do that. We do offer full power systems as well. So if you're chasing something that is a weekender type vibe, or you want a full-blown red vision system, those are options that we can make happen also. Well, welcome to the cab. I wanted to run you guys through what we had done inside. That way you had a bit more of a feel for what I just said on the outside. All right, as you can see, we have some gauges on the pillar here. This is our airbag gauge. The bottom one here is a dual voltmeter, which is monitoring our underbonnet, start battery, and second battery. So it's keeping an eye on both. In conjunction with that, we do have a little battery link switch down here, which is in turn helping us with jump starting the vehicle. So if for whatever reason your start battery went flat, you can push and hold that button, links the two batteries together, and essentially jump start yourself. All the usual goodies in here, Red Arc Tow Pro, and we've done obviously our clear view controller is on this side, and then on the driver's side we have all our forward facing lights and the work lights for the roof. And then down here with our little ashtray replacement, we do have some reverse light switches, our compressor switch, and then our airbag up and down controls just here. So everything at the fingertips. Whilst we're down here, we do have the scan gauge, a few outlets for Darryl as well. Do have the RJ45 pass-through for our Uniden handpiece also. Very, very handy, and that little holder there is such a lifesaver as well. I'm not into the hand holder things myself, but some people like to obviously have the UHF available all the time. I suppose it just depends on how you use your vehicle. If you're touring a lot, something like that is fantastic, because it is annoying to try and pick it up out of the cup holder sometimes. Saying that, cup holders, Department of Interior Center console, if you didn't realize, fantastic. You have to have one of these. If you, well, you don't have to, but if you buy a 70 series, highly recommend it, because doing that when you're driving, especially on a long trip, is just a lifesaver. I'm going to mention these. I didn't do these for Darryl, but he has done them. The one stone armrest, look, it's nice. It is nice. The only thing I don't like about it is I find I chicken wing when I drive a lot, especially off-road, and I smack my arm on the thing all the time. So for me, I don't run one, but every time I get in a 70 that's got one, I'm like, I should buy one of these things. So shout out to you guys. All right, so let's move up to our Department of Interior full facade. Not the T on this one, just the straight across the top, so you still get your map lights, which is super handy. And then you might notice we do have Kimberley to Cape HEMA bracket ready to rock and roll. It's neat, isn't it? I like it. I think it's super handy if you're obviously going to be using that a lot. So for somebody who wants to do a fair bit of touring, having that mounted up there, hardwired in as we've done, it just makes it such a asset, is the word I was looking for when you're off-roading. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the little feature that I do like about the 10.1 inch head unit. If you don't know, Kenwood 10.1 floating deck. Yes, you can move this down to see the clock. There's a lot of people who are like, I know the clock, where did it go? It's still there, don't peek out. But this unit is so nice looking, and I just love the display. It is a full 1080p display. It's just nice, I just like it. The one feature that you can see, cam, so camera. We've got 3 cameras on this vehicle. So this is our tow ball camera, which there's no tow ball in there at the moment, but you would see that if it was there. And then we have a high mount, which is looking through the rear of the ladder. And then we even have a front camera that's mounted on the front of the bull bar. I do have that same setup in Amy's car. It is so handy. I don't have it on my 79 just because I didn't run the wiring when I built mine. But super handy, super handy with that. And you can obviously change between the 3 on the fly whilst you are driving. If you did need to see up high, if you were towing something, you want to see over the top, you can do that. Obviously the front cam's kind of very handy when you are either four-wheel driving and you're in a real sticky situation and you can't quite see what's in front of you, or mainly for me at the bloody shops, because you just want to get the nose in a little bit further, but you can do that. So really cool feature of that. It's obviously got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, digital radio. It's got all the features that you would want in a head unit. It's got all that. So yeah, just having those few little extras for me, I really like those features in the deck. So keeping with the stereo, we have done a full suite in the vehicle, so it's full stage 4 sound deadening, and then we have gone crazy with our Department of Interior door pods with the speakers in the front, tweeters as well for the front speakers, and then we got our amp for running our sub also, which we've done a full rear wall setup for Darryl in this vehicle also. So 10-inch sub, vocal amps as well to suit, and that's giving him a really nice sounding stereo rather than the little tin can 4 inches that you get from the factory. So bit of an upgrade, let's just say that, bit of an upgrade. Yeah boy. Well, that's it guys for Darryl's vehicle. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not, hit the bell, subscribe, hit the like, thumbs up thing, all that type of stuff. You can tell I'm not super tech savvy. And I will keep you guys up to date with some future builds that are coming up soon. Make sure you check us out, TikTok, Insta, Facebook. We're all over the place, so have a look there, because you will see a bit more content about what is coming for YouTube as the builds progress. So Merry Christmas, hope you guys have a great break, and we'll see you back next year. Catches.